Hey folks, it's Brian. We got to play RQG tonight, so new party-ish. Um, they are in the keep. They found an entrance going, not an entrance, a doorway to stairs going down. So they investigate. Opens up in front of them. They go north or south. They decide to go south. There's, stalagmites and stalactites and rubble and stuff around. So there's some lots of shadow stuff going on. They head south, go around a corner, and it opens up again to the south. So go down to the south again, and there's stairs going down. They go down the stairs, opens up into an area, and there's water there. And in the middle of the water is like uh, a river, like not Lazy Susan. Maybe it's called Lazy. Well, the water's moving around in a circle-ish kind of flow with an island in the center. Um, So it was Miriam who steps forward. How deep is it? It was all ankle deep at first. I think it's about knee deep. And at that point, a creature in the water moves up, burns her legs with acid. She actually goes down because apparently she had taken damage last time. They didn't end up healing. So we kind of, after this event, yeah, they would have healed before they came down here, right? But she was tied off, and Jarstakos had the other end. So as soon as she went down, Jarstakos runs back and pulls her out of the water. And Elistre moves forward to see, what's going on. When she moves forward, the thing comes forward on her, burns her legs with acid, and so she departs. To get out of this goo, though, they gotta make a Dex times 5 roll, so it's not easy to necessarily get out. Miriam's there. They heal Dusty heals Miriam's legs. She gets up. Jarstakos moves forward, figuring it's some kind of chaos creature. He's going to kill it named Vorlanth. It moves forward onto both of them, burns legs again. Jarstakos has got 6 point. He's got plates, so but it drops down to 5 and then to 4, and is doing a couple points of damage to him, kind of thing. While this is going on, though, these little critters come down out of the upper area, following the folks. Juchi's in back. He misses his listen rolls, so these things attack him. And they're just little critters biting on his legs. And so the party kind of splits. Some dealing with the blob creature, another dealing with the little creatures. And they're taking out the little creatures left and right. And, they'll parry with their sword, and at certain points, the parrying weapon, if it does better, if the parrying is a greater success than the attack, then the sword did damage to the bites, right? So they're taking out these little creatures left and right with their parrying weapons. But things dodge okay, not really well. They fight okay, not really well. So they're doing a little bit of damage here and there. But Jarstakos decides he's going to burn 2 rune points of lightning into this creature, because they're starting to figure out that regular weapons aren't doing any damage to this thing. In fact, somebody shoots an arrow, and the arrow just kind of fizzles in the goo. And Jarstakos hits it once with his Blade Sharp 2. Sword takes a bunch of damage, and he does a little bit of damage to it. But that lightning bolt did a bunch of damage to the critter, and then Illustrate does demoralize on it, so it's going to pull back, but it has chaos feature, breathe fire, so it breathes fire on Jarstakos. It's 16 points of damage, total hit points to him. So he went down. We had his allied spirit. Now I thought the allied spirits were separate from the rune priest, or god talker in this case, right? And so it had its own magic points, its own rune points, its own spells, that kind of thing. But in looking through, no, it's in mind to mind, so they can use each other's stuff just like a fetch. in that capacity. So it taps into his rune points, does cure wounds together with the 2 sets of magic points, brings him back up in the same round, as if he had not taken any damage. So that was very, very handy. Burned a bunch of stuff, and Drastikos throws another lightning bolt, 2 points, which kills the creature. In fact, it was that second lightning bolt. It was the same melee round that the creature actually did the fire. So the lightning bolt and the fire happened at the same time. Strike rank 1. Things happen. And so it's dead. The Miriam had summoned her fetch. The fetch is going to engage this thing with spirit magic, but then the lightning bolt hits, and yeah. No power. It's dead. And the body kind of floats through the water. But then more and more these little critters come down. They surround everybody, all kinds of bites and stuff. Lots of parry, taking out head bites and stuff like that. So eventually wear them all down. Nobody got seriously hurt. There were a few bites here and there. So after it's all said and done, the party's doing first aid and healing and that kind of stuff. And that's where we ended the session. Lots of combat, lots of fun. They were doing lots of damage to these little critters. So nothing really bad going on. But out on this island, they saw metallic stuff as they were looking on the island. So after the fight's all over, Miriam goes over there. There's a large shield. It's got runes on it. Some clacks and some lunars. A potion and a scroll tube. Open that up. There's 3 pieces of vellum. Now, vellum is a medieval material, not a Bronze Age material. So this is like high tech. And coming from, the Empire, I kind of see that maybe happening. So she tries to read it. It's a new Pelorian. She knows a little bit of Darahapa, but she rolled really well on the first one was a map, so I can tell that. This corner of the island where the ruins of the city are and where the keep is in the ruins. And then there's 2 messages. And the first message she rolled like a 6, so she could read it. Tell that it's New Pelorian, but it's close enough to the Darhop, and she knows that she could piece it together. And it's some kind of directions. Hey, make the offer to this guy. If he rejects, with the nodule, and then run. It'll summon the creature, and something about destroying anything that comes its way, kind of deal. And then there's another one that's got the guy's name, the first letters. If this guy rejects the offer, that guy's name's on the second one, but he couldn't read or she couldn't read the rest of that missive, so they've got that still. So that kind of tied up some things. Had to do a bunch of thinking on trying to tie, because I know these 2 missives have tied part of the story. I just couldn't remember what parts they tied to. But at the end, I kind of figured it out. Well, after we ended the session, I was able to dig through the PDF. Okay, where's all this? Oh, okay, that's what's going on. Okay, should have done that beforehand, but it is what it is, right? Lots of fighting, bunch of successful skill rolls. Nobody dead. Well, almost nobody dead. Pretty much not a resurrection, but a saving the last minute kind of thing. Because Drastikos was at -2 when he took that fire damage. Happy gaming.